So, Brian Laundrie, mm, I actually was not even sure if I was going to talk about Brian Laundrie because, I mean, what else can you say? Everything about this case from the very beginning has been like just tons of head scratching. Nothing about Brian Laundrie's case from the day that it came to our attention has really made any sense. Okay, you've got, let's see here. So you got this mysterious trip back to Florida in the middle of a cross country van life road trip. Supposedly, he goes back to Florida to move Gabby's things into or out of a storage unit. And so many stories have come out about that. They were living with the parents, but the parents were getting divorced. So he had to move their stuff out of the parents' house. Or they were living in a condo and they decided that it was too expensive. It was a waste of money to keep the condo while they're traveling across country. So there's just too many things like wrong with that whole story. Then the disappearance. You can't figure out when he disappeared. It was this day, but no, it was that day. And but no, Cassie says I saw him, but I didn't see him, but I didn't talk to him, but I talked to him, and I was there, and we were camping. Stories just change and flip and flop. Then you have multiple law enforcement agencies. You got police, FBI, God only who knows what else. You got search dogs and radars and you name it. Thermal imaging, you got drones, you got boots on the ground searching every square inch of this massive swamp, and no one has found hide nor hair of Brian. And then magically the parents go in the first and only day, mind you, that Roberta Laundrie participates in the search. The parents go in, and suddenly, within 30, 45 minutes, they found his items. Next thing you know, they found his remains. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened that way, but boy, oh boy, that just sounds so suspect, so off. How do you go in there and find what all these resources have not been able to find? All these people, all these dogs, and then they're saying, okay, that area was underwater. Well, maybe that area wasn't underwater like they say, because in order for him to get there where he was found, if it was underwater and inaccessible to you, wouldn't it have been inaccessible to him? Then I saw this footage, and I cannot remember. Aaron Aaron somebody, It Mail featured him on a live stream. But Aaron, and I will find his name, did a video where he's showing how the WFLA chopper was flying directly over where they found Brian's remains weeks ago. So it seems to me that they should have been able to see something. Even though they were focused on a different area, they were actually in the air right above that, and you could actually see it on camera. So it seems to me like if they had just looked a little, then they should have been able to see something there. They should have been able to spot that white dry bag, if nothing else. So I don't know. It's just crazy. It is really just crazy. I can believe that if that if he did whatever he did, that he could be skeletal by now. just because of the elements and predation and, just the course of nature. When you're in an area like that, it doesn't take long for a body, whether it's human or animal, to be destroyed. So I can believe that if he went in there and he offed himself, that he would be skeletal by now. That actually does make sense. Now, today I came across something that said that um, some people went in and found some more bones and some other stuff. That they found a water bottle that belonged to either Gabby or Brian. They showed a picture of it from being out there in the swamp, and they also showed a comparison picture where you can see it in one of their van life photos. And they said they notified the police, but the police said they didn't want it. First, I think it's kind of weird that people are out there searching where his remains were. Like, are you out there looking for bones? Are you just weird like that? That you want to go find something like that? I don't know. People are weird. But it seems to me like, yeah, they did kind of, once he was found, did kind of like just finish that search up real quick, because if you're saying that it was partial remains, from the way that things were described, even from the time that they said they found him, I already thought, like, okay, predation, animals have gotten to him. So pieces and parts would be scattered. Well, wouldn't you want to give it a more thorough look to make sure that you found as much as possible, instead of just like hurriedly picking up whatever is obvious and leaving? It seems like the authorities, once they confirmed that, oh, this is his remains, they were just ready to go ahead and move on to the next phase, whatever that might be. Um, and in a way, I kind of get it, but in a way, I kind of don't. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot more that they could find there that's going to say anything other than the fact that he's dead. I mean, if there's some type of admission or confession, it's going to most likely be in that notebook that was in the dry bag. If there's some type of DNA or whatever that proves the connection, then most likely they were going to find that on Gabby's body, not out there in the Florida swamp. That water bottle, whether or not it was extremely important or they should have picked it up or maybe they saw it and left it there or whatever, but whether or not it's important to the investigation after all this time, if they're saying that that area was underwater, shoot, DNA is probably washed off of it anyway, regardless to whose it is. But I would think that if I were an investigator and I was handling this type of high profile, massive search, and I find these remains, that I'm picking up everything around there that looks like it has to do with the human, whether it's a water bottle, it's a piece of paper, it's a candy wrapper, or whatever, because it might just tell me something about the time that he spent there in that place where we found his remains. People have been really going in on his parents, and I don't know. I don't know. I can't take a side in that. I mean, I can. I know how I feel about it. Fuck it. I'm going to say it. Pardon my French. Well, there's no way in the heck that my kid, son, daughter, friend, anybody could come to me and be like, hey, I was on this road trip with this other person, and here I am with their van and not them. You got some questions to answer. You got to tell me something. Where are they? What happened to them? Why are you here and they're not? Why is their van here and they're not? I find it hard to believe that he did not tell his parents something, especially given the fact that Steve Bertolino, the attorney, apparently slipped and said that Brian's parents said that they couldn't stop him from leaving the house, that he was grieving. That keyword grieving, like that word kind of stands out a lot. Grieving what? So if he came home without Gabby and he left grieving. What was he grieving? Where's Gabby? What did you do to her? What happened to her? You know, there had to be some kind of explanation given. And I'm sorry, but on something as serious as that, there's no, oh, well, my kid's an adult. They have a choice. They have the right to. No, what they have is an obligation to answer my questions because I'm your mother and I need to know what's going on. I need to know are you in trouble. I need to know where your fiance is. I need to know if the cops gonna be knocking on my door. I mean, there's just and then this girl lived with them in their house. She was engaged to be married to their son. Yeah, somebody's got to tell me something. You got to explain something. Now, as far as like them not answering the phone for the petitos, I think that was just dead wrong. I mean, even if you answered the phone and told a lie, you should have answered the phone and told them something. Even if you answered the phone and played dumb, you should have answered the phone and told them something. Like you, you got to be all kinds of just like heartless and like not human to just not. I think the person who put that sign on their lawn that said, "What if it was Cassie?" I think they struck a nerve, and I think that really sums it up. Like they should have been thinking at the time when the Petitos were trying to find out about their daughter. What if it was my daughter? What if it was Cassie? Or even what if it was Brian? What if Brian was missing and I was trying to get some answers and nobody would answer the phone or respond to a text message or tell me anything? So I don't know. That whole situation is crazy. That whole family just seems like they're jacked up. I mean, and then Cassie, he, she comes off like you kind of want to feel sorry for her. You kind of want to feel like she was pushed in a corner or something. And then you find out that she is a liar too. So it's like, dang, man, it's this poor girl came from New York to Florida to be surrounded by a whole bunch of dirt bags. Like, wow. The only thing that I can say that is in any way positive toward the Laundries is that I pray for them on their grief and the loss of their son. I am a strong believer in you get what you give. Things come back around. So now it's kind of a situation where the shoe is on the other foot, but regardless, man, they lost a kid, man. They lost a kid. So that's some hurt. And honestly, you have six parents now. Gabby Petito's two sets of parents and the Laundries who are all in a situation where they lost a child through circumstances not their own. Because when it boils down to it, none of them were in Wyoming. None of them started this mess. The Laundries made some bad decisions, some really jacked up decisions in the way that they handled this mess. But neither the Laundries, the Petitos, or the Smiths caused this situation. None of them woke up a month ago or a month and a half ago and thought my kid is going to be dead soon. None of them woke up thinking that. It was probably the last thing on their mind. So for all the parents involved, I feel bad for them on that level. But that's the only thing like a pass that the Laundries are going to get out of me. They just I don't even know what to say about those people. Like there's right and there's wrong. I mean, there's legal, but then legal don't always add up to right or wrong. Just because it's legal don't make it right. Just because it's legal for you to shut up and not say anything doesn't make it right. Just because it's legal for you not to answer questions doesn't make it the right thing to do. So, I don't know, man. Brian Laundrie. And so now you have to go back and think about all these supposed sightings of him since he is apparently, he's been dead for weeks. And so now you've got to look back at all these Brian Laundrie's in North Carolina. Brian Laundrie's on the Appalachian Trail. Brian Laundrie's in California. He's in Tampa. He's in Mexico. I saw him at the gas station. I saw him eating an ice cream cone. I'm like, wow, man, it's crazy. He's hiding out in his mother's garden. I don't know, man. This whole thing is. But let's watch this little video right here because it says Brian Laundrie was found and his parents have missed discovering son themselves. This is not what I was thinking about, but this is that water bottle. I do want to play that. TikTok influencer stumbles upon water bottle near where laundry parents found Brian's dry bag. Things are gonna play. Let me reload. I was just making sure. But yeah, it does seem like that's something that if they spotted that out there, that they should have picked that up because it's obviously not been out there for some super long time, so it may be connected. Well, it's long enough, but it is gonna play. Oh, no. Okay.
Area where Brian Laundrie's remains were. My mom just said that she found an orange spray, like orange spray paint. Mom, how did you get through here? There's rattlesnakes in here. There's a water bottle right here. Whoa, I just found something. Oh my God. Okay. I found something really, this is, I think, water bottle. It says, it looks, I don't know, it could be, I'm not supposed to touch it, but I can't touch it, but it says, it's like Seattle, Washington.
Okay, now here's the thing about that, right? Looking at that video, I guess it is kind of sus because, like, she pretty much just walks right in there straight to it. Like, oh, I found something. So, I don't know. People are weird. Maybe they took that in there and put it there. Maybe they spotted it in the picture of the van and they were like, oh, look, I'm going to go get one and put it out there and say I found it. You never know what people, I mean, folks like their 5 minutes of fame. They did say that Brian Laundrie is not going to have a service, that he is going to be cremated, and uh, that's the news on that. I did read that people have been sending flowers, sympathy flowers, to the Laundries after the death of Brian became public. So I guess there are a few people out there who still have a heart. He's a piece of work, and they are too, but sure, their kid is dead, so I guess you got to have some kind of sympathy for that. Well, it sucks because now with Brian dead, there's like so few answers that Gabby's family is going to be able to get. I feel like they've been denied justice in full. There's no trial, there's no charges, there's no questioning, there's no accountability. You know, maybe something will come out of that notebook once it's dried out and they've had a chance to analyze it, go through it. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go to sleep in a minute, but maybe they'll get something out of that notebook that will give some answers that will give the Petito Smith family some closure, uh, some understanding into some questions they may have outstanding. But truth be told, there's still not going to be the justice that I'm sure that they would like to have received. I think it's cowardly if he did go out there and take his own life. I think it's cowardly, to not stand and face um, what you've done. Um, Maybe some could say, well, he was hurting. It was an accident. It was a spur of a moment. And he really loved her. People say all kinds of stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you can kind of keep that. I mean, really, you can kind of keep that accidental or on purpose. That girl's gone, and the fact that he went through, jumped through as many hoops as he did to get away from the scene, to avoid questioning, to avoid apprehension. I think it kind of speaks for itself. That says a lot in and of itself. So, well, I'm sleepy. I'm gonna get off here. Uh, Thanks for joining me, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna be putting out some more pre-recorded videos. I find that I actually enjoy doing the pre-recorded videos a lot better because I can take time and put stuff together and be creative and make sure I get all my points in, get all the information there in an organized way. I am so scatterbrained. I'm so scared of brain. I lose my train of thought sometimes. Uh, we did hit over 100 subscribers. I think right now we are at 110 subscribers. Guys, I thank you for the support. I thank you for the likes. I thank you for the comments. I even thank you for the thumbs down. Um, Thanks for just hanging in there, hanging out with me, watching my videos. Um, I hope that I can continue to grow and develop this channel to where you guys want to continue to stick around and we'll get some more people in here too. And we'll do some more better things on here. So here's looking at you, kid. Good night, y'all.